Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, this time a game between mouzMorroW spawning as the teal Zerg and SLiDeR spawning as the blue Protoss. Wanted to bring you this game because it's an action-packed game and it also features MorroW, who recently did a race swap from Terran now to playing Zerg, so just like the little one, instead of playing boring old human Terran, now playing fun, exciting, alien, bug-like Zerg. So we will see what kind of chops MorroW does have here. One of the other interesting things that we have to remember as players do swap races in the early going of StarCraft 2 here is that each player has invested many hours into fending off early harassments and really working on the matchups, the TVZ, TVT, and TVP as Terran players. So we wonder whether they'll be as good as another race, whether they'll be able to fend off the different openings that the other races have against Zerg. And we'll see in this video a little bit of what I'm talking about, as SLiDeR is going to do a 12 forge here, and now moving out with his probe. And MorroW will possibly see this forge with the Overlord. It's making a beeline right to the ramp. So he is going to see this forge, but it may be a little bit late. We do see a gas coming down for MorroW before the spawning pool, so he may be going for speedlings on the Xel'naga Caverns map, perhaps even banelings to try to bust through the front door of SLiDeR. Looks like SLiDeR dropping a second pylon in the back of the mineral line of the natural here. So if he can get some cannons down there, he will be denying the fast expand of MorroW. We see MorroW responding with 5 drones coming over, and they may try to take down this probe. So the probe dropping a cannon here, and now getting caught up a little bit in the drones. If the drones are able to surround the probe, that could spell doom for SLiDeR and this harassment, but instead it looks like MorroW is going to be working on these photon cannons. So the photon cannon will go down. It looks like it was cancelled there by SLiDeR. Photon cannons do go down if 4 drones are on them. So it looks like we have another cancel here. So SLiDeR dropping more and more photon cannons as he gets enough minerals for them. And this cannon will not be able to be attacked by only 3 drones. So it will be coming up. And it looks like the probe now taking on this drone. The probe needs to get out of there so it can live to drop more cannons. And now we'll have the first cannon finishing. MorroW does not want to lose any drones to this cannon, nor does he want to lose that Overlord. And it looks like we had another cancel by SLiDeR here, so he's just happy to get up these 2 cannons, and he will be denying the fast expand of MorroW. If we look at the production tab, we have a number of drones coming up for MorroW at this point, so he is not going to be breaking out at the moment, not making any Zerglings. Also creating a second queen. This queen will be dropping a creep tumor, at least it looks to be in position to do so. And now we have a gateway coming up for SLiDeR as well as a photon cannon. I'm not sure whether there's any space between these buildings. I believe that there is 1 unit worth of space on the diagonal there. And it looks like MorroW now has a few Zerglings out, creating a few more as well. We'll see how he chooses to deal with these cannons, as he will want to get down an expansion here at the natural. You can do a few things. You can go for a baneling bust against these cannons or against the pylon. You can go with roaches, as roaches with 4 range now can take out that pylon from behind on this right hand side. Or he may decide to throw down a hatchery in a different area of the map. The problem with doing that is the 2 hatcheries will not be right next to each other. You will not be able to connect them with creep, and you will not be able to send that queen over to a far hatchery. Looks like this drone heading out perhaps to do a little bit of scouting, but instead he may be trying to get up a hatchery down here or on the right hand side. Looks like we have a pylon on the left hand side of the map and now 2 stargates, so proxy stargates coming up for SLiDeR here. He does not have warp gate tech going up yet, and it looks like he is walling off completely the front door with a pylon here. So no Zerg units will be able to get into SLiDER's base for the foreseeable future. It looks like MorroW dropping the hatchery on the far side here and working on these rocks. He's going to have to do a good job with the creep connecting these bases. It looks like he is using these 2 queens, dropping a number of tumors here. So he will have at least 3 active tumors, perhaps a 4th. So doing a good job so far spreading creep, and he will need to continue to do so to get these bases connected. We do have both of these stargates complete now, and a void ray coming out of one. Not enough minerals for another void ray if SLiDeR chooses to go the double void ray route. Looks like he's going to do just that. So about to get out these void rays. Looks like we do have 3 queens on the field for MorroW at this point, also getting out a few roaches as well. So the queen's good anti-air early on for the Zerg player. He may be able to take down these void rays, especially before the void rays are able to get charged up. You see the first void ray is out now, the second one on the way, and another void ray, so 3 void rays will be on the field shortly. Protoss player now taking down this pylon at his front door, so maybe trying to break out and expand. Looks like he is replacing that pylon with one right by his base there, and now these roaches are going to be taking down the pylon, the initial one, but it looks like a second pylon was dropped here, and they're not going to be able to get to this pylon without being attacked. MorroW doing a good job pulling back that roach before it takes any fatal damage, and that pylon does go down, so MorroW will be able to throw up this expansion anytime he chooses. Decent saturation on this second base for now. If we look at the income tab, 34 to 34, and now a Phoenix and 3 Void Rays moving into the main of MorroW, and MorroW does have the 1 queen in his main being picked up by that Phoenix, now focused down by these Void Rays. Void Rays are able to take down that queen very quickly. If you look at the other queens, they are out spreading creep midfield, so no anti-air right now for MorroW. The Void Ray is doing a ton of damage against these workers. He was at 34 workers previously. We'll see what that drops down to. Queen doing its best to work on these Void Rays, but hardly even making it through the shields, and the Void Rays just ripping into the economy of MorroW at this point. Down to 22, 21, 20 drones, so lost about 15 drones there. Actually, it looks like 23 drones as we count the number of kills on the Void Rays here. And now we have a few more Phoenix coming in, and now the Phoenix is going to be harassing these Overlords. So the Overlords are not going to be safe. Need to get them on one area. Right now he is side-capped, creating 8 Overlords, MorroW is right now. So dumping all of his larvae and his minerals into Overlords so that he can stay above that, that side-cap there. More Overlords going down to these Phoenix. If you look at the Void Rays, they are moving out and they are looking for important structures to take down. They do not see a natural here. It looks like we have a few Hydralisks coming out along with 2 Queens trying to focus down these Void Rays. Looks like 1 Void Ray will go down. Queen's working on the shields of a second Void Ray, and these Void Rays are not charged up, so the Queens are going to be able to take down the second Void Ray there. And now this third Void Ray does need to get out of there, as the 2 Queens could take it down as it is not charged up. The Phoenix doing their best to rid the world of Overlords at this point. And we see great creep tumor spread by MorroW. He's got many active tumors. It looks like 4 active tumors, doing a great job spreading creep all along this map, but his economy is in shambles at this point. 30 harvesters. He did lose about 15 to 20 harvesters there. So he's got to get these bases up and running. Very low on the income. And it looks like SLiDeR taking the opportunity to throw down this Nexus. These Phoenix are just patrolling around the map. They're hoping to find any Overlords. It looks like the Stargates were taken down. I think I missed that, but some Roaches were able to take those down uninhibited, as SLiDeR was trying to finish off MorroW, but he was just not able to take on those Queens. So MorroW doing a good job recovering a little bit. He does have these Overlords out, and he is now side-capped 61 over 60, going to lose a second Overlord here, and needs to get these Overlords back to the Spore Crawler and the Queen for protection. Really have to mind your Overlords, especially once you see these Phoenix out on the field. Queen doing its best to ward away those Phoenix, but being picked up here. There's 3 Phoenix with enough energy to pick up and take down the Queen. If we get one more pickup, and looks like this Queen will go down as well. So MorroW needs to keep creating more Spore Crawlers and retreat those Overlords to the Spore Crawlers and the protection of the Queen. Also getting out a few Hydralisks could be good against the Phoenix. So there are no more No more Stargates on the field for SLiDeR. It looks like he's going to be doing a tech switch over to Colossus, as he does have the robotics facility and the bay up, and he is working off of 4 gas and these 2 bases. Does not have very good saturation. It looks like he cut harvesters a little bit to work on the Void Ray and the Phoenix Harass there, as he only has 35 harvesters, so not that far ahead of MorroW with the 28, but MorroW's macro is going to be hurt every time he loses one of these queens. Again, the queen being picked up a second time, taken down by those Phoenix, and these Phoenix so effective against Zerg, able to take down those Overlords and pick up the queens. Zerg just does not have much anti-air early in the game. So if we look at the creep spread, it's quite insane for MorroW at this point. So if he does go for a Roach Hydra army, he will have that creep spread and he will be able to move across the map very quickly. However, the Hydras and the Roaches are going to be no match for the counter of Colossus here. So SLiDeR doing a good tech switch, still patrolling around with these Phoenix, hoping to catch a few Overlords.